Kylie, were you aware of Leos Carax's work before you became involved with the film?
I knew of Lovers on the Bridge, and that's all. I had no idea he was as esteemed as he is, as brilliant as he is, and adored. I really had no idea, which was made it a little easier for me to meet him.
So how did you come to be cast in the film?
I know Claire Denis, who's another French director, and she's good friends with Leos, and she suggested me to him. So he sent me, emailed me the script, which I was completely bamboozled by, like, what? Because he had quite a few pictures scattered through the script as well, and it was just, I mean, it's still bizarre, so to read it just on paper was quite bizarre. But I was definitely intrigued, so I went to Paris to meet him for lunch, and that was that. We spoke a little bit about the film, a little bit about each other, and really that was that. He didn't kind of say, okay, you've got the role. It was just like, all right, well, see you soon.
So actually, how did he describe the film to you? I mean, in those early conversations, what did he talk about?
We didn't speak too much about the film. I don't recall him saying, this is what it's going to be like, da 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 da. It was literally just to kind of sense each other, I suppose. I understood from then that he really knew nothing about me, which was brilliant. That never happens. It was so amazing. All he knew was the duet that I'd done with Nick Cave,
Right.
which is probably the one thing in my lifetime and in my career that you could see as a potential link to anything in the Leos Carax world. So it was like having a clean slate and being able to start again. I don't know if he knew if I could act or what kind of performer I was. So it was a very genuine, just a kind of, I don't know, a natural trust, which was a beautiful thing.
Wonderful. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a great way to start an enterprise like this. So what was he like to work with?
He was adorable, really very, very gentle, very tender. I know that's the nature of my scene in the film, but he doesn't waste words. He doesn't waffle on. He's a big presence in a very small way, and he was just very subtle with me and what he wanted from me. Very supportive.
What sort of direction did he give you then? What on the set?
Well, we had a day to rehearse a couple of weeks before I was filming, on location at the Samaritan, which was fantastic to kind of at least have that part, to know that part in my head where we would be, and just the choreography of the movement, where the song would happen, etc. And when we were doing that, there was, and he said, "You're not acting now. This is just literally movement." And then when it was closer to filming, he presented me with a note, which it was like a little love letter to me and my character, just to say, I know you're probably more confident as a singer, that's understandable, but I don't mind that. He said, I can't remember exactly the words in it, but you know, it's okay if you're a bit hesitant. I like that fragility and that kind of, I want you to be a little distant. Think of Gene Seberg, Gene Tierney, and to sum it up, I would hate to tell anyone the exact words of the letter because it was such a precious, beautiful little thing. But to sum it up, he said, "I promise you, if you trust me, I'll make the character unforgettable."
And no problem acting in French?
Yeah, big problem. Sleepless nights. I was terrified. I can speak survival French, no problem, but yeah, I was really nervous about that, but it was a great challenge. And then I had the relief to sing in English, but that presented another challenge, which was singing live in the scene, which was
Oh,
just
it's live.
exhilarating. Yeah.
Tell me about the song.
The song, Leos wrote the lyrics for the song and gave them to Neil Hannon, who is in a group called the Divine Comedy, who's really a great storyteller in songs, very talented. And that was sent to me after I was on board. The song was emailed to me, and I welled up just upon first listen. It was just such a beautiful piece of music, and yeah, I was exhilarated that we were doing it live in the scene, that it wasn't pre-recorded or post-recorded or anything. It was in the moment.
What about working with Danny Levon?
Wow. More reasons to be fearful. He's so exceptional. It was funny though, because my scene with him, he's halfway between two characters, and even me, I'm going, which part of your face is real? He's got kind of bits put on and bits put off. But yeah, he was amazing. I felt it was just another element of this experience being mind-blowing for me.
When you actually saw the film for the first time, was that here in Cannes?
That was last night.
Last night. What did you think, and were there any surprises?
It was full of surprises. Obviously, I knew the script, but I was just so enthralled to see his vision, his total vision. I can't wait to see it again because it's so complex, and I haven't fully made up my mind how I describe the story to someone. And some parts were just so overwhelmingly beautiful, and other parts were confronting, and others were majestic, and others were like an acid trip. I mean, it was all manner of things, but in the end it was somehow kind of uplifting. Crazy, but uplifting.
How would you sort of describe, if it's possible to describe, the difference between acting in a movie and the performance you do? I mean, in the performance you must be in total control, and in the acting you're not entirely.
Yeah, it was. I haven't really done it in such a long time, or at least not to this degree, where I am, I just wanted to do well for him, and for me, of course, but more so for Leos, because it's his baby. It's really different. I guess I've spent so many years doing the pop thing, which I love. I don't want to give that up by any means, but that's more a case of putting things on, and you I don't know, it's shiny, it's meant to dazzle and all of that kind of thing. And with this, it was nice to do the complete opposite and take all those layers off, to the point where I banned I normally travel with my assistant, or you have my manager, or if I'm on tour there's 100 of us. But I knew they wanted to come because this was very exciting. I was doing a film, but I said, I'm really sorry, you can't come. I have to go on my own. It's that important to me that I need to I wanted to go back to how I felt as a teenager when I started acting, where I was alone. There wasn't this whole machinery around me, and just go back to, I don't know, just to being an open book for my director.
So back to basics, really.
Back to basics. And then with the song in the film, that was very different to deliver it. It's not like I'm kind of acting for a bit and then suddenly I break into song. It's a continuous scene, and Leos did say to me, "I don't want you to sing this like you sing your songs," and there's no way I could. So it was an interesting process to try and sing nicely, but sing as the character in that moment.
So, what was the greatest challenge about the whole experience?
All of it, all of it. I, well, I wouldn't say it was a challenge. It was a pleasure just to let go and give in. But if I had to try and answer your question, the greatest challenge was just to portray the character believably and let go of all the things that I normally am.
But that must in itself have been tricky, because it's a hard character, the character you play is a hard character to define in a way, isn't it? I mean, you're not really sure where she's coming from.
Yeah, it's like so many moments in the film, you are unsure. You think, well, because when they first meet, they're in matching limousines, so you understand that they do similar things. And then there's the twist at the end where she changes again into the character she says she's playing that night. But it takes a minute for all of this to make sense, definitely.
Kylie, you've only done a fairly small number of films over the years. Would you like to do more?
I would love to do more, and I sound like a broken record because I remember saying this when I was about 22 after I'd done The Delinquents. I said, yeah, I'd like to do more film. And I just got so sidetracked, and then I made really bad decisions, and I did too many films where I just thought, do you know what, maybe this isn't for me. So I'm hoping that this is a step in the right direction, and I've kind of been waiting for someone like Leos, and I guess it's through Claire, who's another person who was just saw something in me in the flesh without everything else. I'd said for quite a while, I need and this is ironic, I need the Nick Cave of the movie world to do what Nick Cave did with me with Where the Wild Roses Grow, which was, I mean, that was like an hallucination when I did that with him. People were, what, Nick Cave and Kylie Minogue? But it was so beautiful, so dark and so beautiful. And it's just ironic that that's the one thing Leos knew, and he has done that for me. So I'm thrilled.
Amazing. Kylie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been really nice talking to you.
Cheers, thank you.